Hello guys, Unoraptormon here. Welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. Yay! And I think we're finally near the end of the Old World Blues DLC. So, let's talk to the bots. Where are they? Just a quick thing. Hello. Okay, so never mind. Let's do this. Okay. You're so helpful. Sound effects and attack. I'm too nice. Oh, cool. Okay. Some other way. It's best to keep that stuff private. Oh gosh, that's another innuendo. Hills of chivalry added. I'm slowly trying to figure it out, and it's kind of like emojis. I have a feeling I'm just going to be spending the rest of the time in the think tank. Okay. Insane. Okay. That was funny.
The lobotomite animal before me. What other terrifying terrors will plague us in our quest for knowledge? Communists? Communist animals, perhaps?
Oh, God.
Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe, calling loyal cyber dogs to my aid. Do you comprehend, commie animal?
I am not a fucking commie or an animal.
Drama? There is no drama in science. As I learned in high school, science is an intellectual pursuit devoid of bestial emotions. Unless, of course, you are a communist. Like Betsy Bright, who sat next to me in math, and her smoking Confederate Richie Marcus. As I learned in my high school, American High, AHS, drama is for movies, things of fiction. Here in the think tank, the only star is science.
Ever hear of science fiction?
So, you put down Gabe. Thank you. A scamp, but really, his highly augmented combat programming could have proved meddlesome. In any event, thank you for putting him down. One less test subject to catalog and sort. Clearly a failure of Doggy's cybo-engineering.
You are a bastard.
Before you is the brain of Dr. Boros, head of animology, beastology, and DNA scrambling technology here at Big Mountain. I lay the bones and hearts of animals bare beneath my searing gaze, especially the dogs. I did so love dogs once. Especially Gabe, that rascal. But there are many animals to shape. Industrious cazadors, the happy-go-lucky night stalkers. They are my living, breathing DNA test tubes.
Oh, I want to
Indeed. Docile, curious, safe, sterile. They are contained here at Big Mountain to preserve DNA and for observation. No, such creatures are found only here, for research purposes. They would no more be capable of escape than breeding. Because because Big Mountain's safety measures are far more sophisticated than their primitive animal instincts. We are their lords and masters. I cannot expect a lobotomite to understand the careful surgical castrating procedures used in their creation. Perhaps a demonstration of my castrating power would settle your doubts. Impregnate you? What? Do you want to make me vomit inside my tank? The mere notion makes the edges of my biomed gel crystallize into asymmetrical patterns.
Oh, brother.
Nonsense! That is what you speak. Nonsense from beyond. I was at the top of my high school class in American high school. I knew facts. I knew figures. I knew data. We would know if our research was flawed. It is not. We never contradict ourselves, so do not even try. In 2000, let's see, carry the 3, then count backwards from the Great Static, or beyond, there were the tarantula debates, and something about hawks, which made it around 2003, May, Tuesday? It was definitely Tuesday. Why are we even debating this? What you ask is of no importance. Mobius besieges us. There are more important things to worry about than data and facts.
Hold on, I want to talk about...
Indeed.
Okay.
Submit your questions. I shall respond with deadly answers. The malignant tumor that is Mobius plagues us all. His hunger for power, insatiable. From his lair in the Forbidden Zone, his terrifying Robo-Scorpion army clicks and whirs across the crater of Big Mountain, ever seeking, ever stinging. He must be stopped, or all of Big Mountain shall be destroyed. The radar fence protects us all. If evidence is correct, the one who built it is me. It keeps anything with a disembodied brain inside, like us, and anything without a brain also inside. It is the ultimate defense against communist aggression. There'll be no infectious ideas on my watch.
Real funny, liberal.
What? Why would you do either of those things? That is madness. There is nothing outside Big Mountain. We're pretty sure. We would know. Ever since my anxiety-filled days of powerlessness and being bullied in American high school, I have dreamed of such security as the fence. That and giant cybernetic dogs that would ruthlessly patrol and kill anyone who wasn't my friend, like Richie Marcus and Betsy Bright. Who's laughing now, Betsy? I hope you and Richie are happy smoking in your radioactive coffins. I'm glad you never came to my birthday party. No! Beyond is death, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. No matter where these strange humans wander in from with their ideas and new brains, there is nothing beyond Big Mountain. Enough! Stop filling my precious brain cell units with irrelevant data. You sound like the other visitors, making wild claims of a world beyond, where there is a war beyond war. It is unproven and unthinkable. Bother the other doctors with your crackpot theories. I have no time. None of us do.
Plenty of time.
There is logic and purpose in it. If these technologies are needed to pierce the forbidden zone, so be it. Science is powerful, and in the right hands, our hands, if we had hands, we would be nigh unstoppable.
I'll give you credit that it's powerful. What?
That castrated nickname of our facility is not its true name. The true name is Big Mountain. Where are your manners? It is our home, threatened by the horrors of Mobius.
I'm not gonna be able to talk to Mobius, yeah.
All we wish to do is continue our research, layer upon layer, above and beneath the floor of the crater, until we have our answers. But no, Mobius will not let us rest, scaring us with his scary robots with their laser tails and blowing up all the time. It was not our first choice of testing grounds, but we no longer have the luxuries of our test cities. Then we lost the mountain. After the explosion, we couldn't find it anymore, so the crater became our testing grounds for science. Yes. In the past, individuals would come to us, pay for technology, and if their town, community, or city was just right, we could use that city as a controlled experiment. Vault-Tech was much better at it, of course. We had to make do, get permission, sometimes. If only we could have used commie cities. But capturing whole cities was hard, so we captured enough commies to make cities of our own. So we had a group of Chinese prisoners to experiment on. Those were the days. But the true test was science on unsuspecting Americans. Whether it was holograms, new autodocs, toxins, vending machines, we wound them up, let them go into tiny, isolated towns. Then we observed. Boom! Yes, quite unexpected and embarrassing. All better now after the landscaping, though. Much more pleasing to our monitors. And the crater helps keep everything inside, because it is bowl-shaped. Submit your question.
I think that's everything I can talk to him about.
Until next time, then. Provided there is a next time. For any of us.
Ooh, man, this thing's tall. Woo! Man, this thing's sour. Let's see. Probably over here. Yep. You owe $1. Of course you're not.
You are an unusual specimen to so boldly walk into the mighty expanse of the think tank, fearless and proud as a teddy bear. Between the extraction of their higher reasoning abilities and urination-inducing fear, most lobotomites dare not approach us, let alone speak to us. Yet you have no such fear. facing me. Epidermis flushed with blood, plasma running molten beneath, your face contorting with muscular expression. Will you indulge me? Say a few words. Face towards the monitors, please, so that I might record it for further examination. Yes, go on. Seeing your lips and mouth forming the words, both revolting and somehow... How does it feel to have the flesh roll around in your mouth like that? To control each muscle and the tongue, like having a fish or extremely dexterous slug lolling and flopping in one's mouthal cavity.
Okay, that's starting to get gross.
What? Nonsense. What? What are you doing? Stop it. Why? Why are you making me partake in this filthy formography? Enough. I am already intrigued. You have sufficiently percolated me. I don't know what it is about the biology of lobotomites. It infects my thoughts. All that skin and muscle and tissue. I cannot deny it. The illogic of it. The betrayal of our own beliefs. I blame my curiosity.
Admittedly, the human body is interesting.
Would you? I feel so ashamed, but yet so intrigued. You'll need to give me a rest in between visits, or else my gel might run over. If you're ready, let me radar scan you. Slowly. Woo. Woo. Purple, purple, woo. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Purple. Ba-ba, bloop. Ba-ba, bloop. Ba-ba, bloop. Whew. Last little bit there. Thank you, lobotomite. Please, you must come back for further study when I've had a rest. I'm a little sensitive right now. Why, my little bear of teddiness. I am Dr. Dalla, first head chief researcher of mineralogy and medicinal sciences. I have 211 doctorates in both applied sciences and techniques to apply those sciences. I also possess a degree in curiosity and advanced curiosity.
Oh, brother.
That is merely schooling, however. When possible, I prefer fieldwork and observation to holotape eidetics. It has proven useful, especially now. I have become the expert on humanology and lobotomite behavior here at Big Mountain. My research doesn't descend into formography. It is only science. Why, we create not only scientific marvels here at Big Mountain, but new sciences as well. Everything can be quantified, categorized, and dissected until every group can be subgrouped or partitioned.
Good grief.
What is a name without a title or suffix for the sake of hierarchy? It is a long-standing quantification of personality and importance.
Fair enough.
We could not do without it. Surely you must be aware of the gravity of such attached appellations, just as surely as you must have a title. Oh, a mailman. A delivery man. Someone who takes parcels from place to place using their primitive feet or similar conveyance. You are the second one I've met in recent times. Very different specimens. Of course. You must have met others in your travels. This one had met other couriers too, although it sounded as if he hadn't met the correct one. He asked us all many questions, and then he asked a most perplexing one. We had to segment the event out of our memories for safety. I do not know, nor should we try to access it. Perhaps Klein has the logs. My evaluation would be to let your own curiosity go. I do not think that Klein remembers the conversation as being satisfactory. Oh, removing it is a simple procedure. Well, except the complications it can cause to the heart and spine. But once the heart and spine are gone, no trouble at all. Clamp the subject down. One laser incision around the skull. Crack, snip, done. The brain is finally free of the skin envelope, which is then kept automated for cleanup duties around Big Mountain. Lobotomites. With you, however, something is definitely wrong. We've never had a lobotomite who kept speaking after being forcibly lobotomized. I am relieved the pacification field is working. If it didn't, I would broadcast some concern to my colleagues about safety protocols. That is a good question. My theory is that the Tesla coils in your brain pan are still connected to your brain somehow. It really could be anywhere. Brains are a lot smarter than most researchers give them credit for. We still have your spine and heart. If you were to somehow find your brain, wherever it sloped off to, you could humanically reduce yourself again. It is the pacification field emitters that are broadcasting into the emptiness of your skull. Without a brain, your aggression is suppressed in here. Why would you want such a thing? You might surrender to your hormones and commit primal aggression on me, on us, again and again. Then I would have to return the favor, activating my vivisectors and gently lobotomizing you from behind. Not something I would relish doing. No, the only way to circumvent the field is to have a brain, and we extracted that like we do all lobotomites here. An interrogation. How fascinating. Please begin.
This episode is gonna be nothing but me finding out what the hell's going on.
Dr. Mobius. A monstrous brain creased with wrinkles of 1,000 evils, with but one jaundiced eye with which to perceive the world. Exiled from the think tank for crimes too heinous to remain in recorded memory, and perhaps differences in research methodology. His one terrible eye forever peers at us, an eye of ever-increasing magnification. He watches from his dome in the Forbidden Zone, spying on us all.
You're obsessed with the human body to the point where I think you might be a nymphomaniac.
It'll all become clear. If not, at least we will have the technology here at the Dome, where all technology belongs. When we have all the technology, all the answers, we can share it with the world, piece by piece. All will be in order, and all will be like Big Mountain. This mountain, now crater, encompasses the sum total of knowledge of humankind. It is Big Mountain, where all questions can be answered. You'll see, no matter what your questions, Big Mountain will provide the answers, as it has done for so many before you.
How are you guys still alive?
Oh yes, we've had other subjects visit. It's why we had to calibrate the pacification field and warm up our brainial beams and vivisectors. Only a short time ago, we had 3-1 subjects arrive, and they ruined several experiments, and even injured 2 of our staff. It is a shame their brains left with them. With you, however, we have taken precautions to ensure that problem won't repeat itself. We've conditioned you so you can't speak of this place, discuss our secrets, or attempt to use force against us in any way. Isn't that nice? Because 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 spoke to us, one after the other. One mean, one curious. But there was a third we didn't speak to.
Elijah.
The last one is the minus 1. It got traumatized, then taken to one of our medical centers for de-traumatization. A rather unsettling procedure. Ask Dr. O. And you could have asked 8 once, until he was severely damaged in the attack. We like him better this way. Perhaps you are stuck in a looping gesture of verbal intercourse. Until our next interaction, my intriguing little lobotomite.
Okay, well that was all interesting. I'm guessing this one's gonna be O. Let's see. Lack of earmuffs. Trace of Gabe and Higgs village. Last visitor. Then when visitors attack. Okay. Let's do this.
Breaking news! Talking lobotomite arrives in think tank. Its purpose, unknown. Undefinable. Its presence here, impossible.
Impossible.
Oh, really? Now the lobotomite is a master of the dictionary arts. What, do you have a doctorate in verbology? No? I do. And... Stop the presses. Just in from my eye monitors. Is that Robco tech on your arm? It is. What's your agenda bringing that in here? Oh, really? You have their tech on your arm.
Okay.
How dare you bring Robco tech in here? What are you showing off? How great Robert House and his big company are?
Oh, we can make Securitrons better than any robot those geniuses at Big Mountain can make, and they'll last 1,000 years.
You're lucky I don't have hands to tear that dip boy off your arm, or feet to stomp on its stupid metal guts. Ugh. Damn Robco.
House was working with Robco?
Worry about House? Why would I do this? Hope he died alone in a dingy room, streaming his last remaining bodily fluids into jars. And him and his dirty girdle bots. Don't even get me started on those filthy biological catcher's mitts. Fine. Ask. I don't like to talk about it. 8, he can't talk about it. They fried his voice module. Something good. It wasn't all the visitors, though. Only one of them got out of control. He's the one that took control of Little Yangtze, our old human farm.
Elijah. So that was Elijah.
This human, I can't believe it. He broke out of the think tank in seconds. Then he went for Yangtze, got bomb collars, and started practicing on the subjects that were still there until he got the right frequency. We were sending robots to stop him, and he was slicing and cutting through their shells with some souped-up laser gun like they were cheese paper. When he hacked into the mainframe, A tried to stop him and got fried. Me? He rerouted my processors to take control of the train network here. If you see the tunnels with the trains plowed into them, you can thank our visitor for that. He wrecked the whole place. While we were trying to keep containment on the surface, turns out he used one train to punch out a tunnel and escape. Sealed now, but 2 other human specimens. One arrived not long after the troublemaker, and the last one, not sure when he showed up. Thought the first one was going to be lobotomized in Y-17. She got out somehow. The last subject, Klein might know more. He talked to him, and let him leave the think tank. Hope he knew what he was doing. Klein knows things we don't. And I think he told some of those things to the last visitor. Dangerous things if they ever got out.
Interesting.
All things robotical. You see a robot? I made it. See a broken robot? I made it that way. Deconstructed it down to parts. I have a gift with machines. I can render anything inoperable. Preserve them in a non-functioning state.
Right.
Who asked you? You just wait until a working machine threatens you, and you'll wish I was around. Yeah, I do. It wasn't always oh. I just took that one by default because sometimes it's easier to accept the mistake as long as the purpose works. I don't want to get into it. It's a sore topic with me. Makes my gel ripple.
Let's make that gel ripple then.
Great. Psychology. Clearly the worst of the sciences, right after colostodiuretics. Okay, so my name is an O. Never was. It was circular, a single character, digit, but not O. But even with enhanced sensors, no one here could get it right. Always kept seeing the letter, not the number.
0.
Yes, thank you. 0. I am 0. How hard is that? A narrow, thin 0. Zero's my name. I'm proud of it, all right? It doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Truth be told, my emotional attachment to it doesn't even register compared to just having people recognize the difference. It's just that they're both sort of round and hollow, so when they monitor scan them, they assume that, oh, it's O. Vivisect me, please.
I need more intelligence.
Fine. Ask. What about it?
Okay.
Fine.
I can come
Ask.
back and ask about it.
That genius Mobius somehow cobbled together these really impressive-looking robot scorpions with spare parts. Even painted them. Tried to see what makes them tick. Can't even examine them without them detonating all over me. Left with shrapnel and burns. Every
Burns?
time. Supposedly, he has even larger models, even a giant robot scorpion hidden deep within the Forbidden Zone. Yeah, right. Giant monsters, sure.
I've seen parts for said giant robo-scorpion.
Yeah, crazy, right? Something right out of a midnight science fiction feature. Ridiculous. What are the odds?
Hi.
Big Mountain used to be a mountain. Then there was a slight mishap. Now it's a crater. The dome used to be buried, now it's exposed to the sky. Don't get me wrong. Makes the sky light up like a planetarium at night. All those spectra. So soothing.
Right.
I'd have a few left. Let me check. Yeah, there were a few under the monitors here. Here you go. Keeps the place tidy.
Huh, 50. Not bad.
Until our next scheduled audio transmission and
Alright. So. I am actually... Hold on a moment. So I think I'm gonna do Brain's best friend real quick. That shouldn't take too long. At least, hopefully, it won't take too long. Yeah, I still can't draw my weapon. So these guys are gonna be uber screwed when I get that. Muggy. Now, okay. This thing packs the same wall
Injecting stim pack.
as a normal Deathclaw. Okay. It's just cuter and smaller.
Please take this. I don't want you to die.
Jeez. Come on.
Was that all?
It's a tiny Deathclaw. Huh. Okay, I'll admit, I didn't see the tiny Deathclaw that packs the exact same punch as a normal Deathclaw coming. Didn't see that at all. Why am I surprised by this? Like, I was legitimately surprised, like, oh, it's a cute little baby Deathclaw mini thing. And, lo and behold, that hits me in the face. Ow. I need something that increases my intelligence. Just by 1. There it is. Generally, I don't like taking mind-altering substances, but... Oh, yeah, right, get it up there. Generally, I don't like drugs, but in this case, I'll make an exception. I'll hop under the mood lights real quick, just to make sure nothing falls out of sync, so to speak. Alright, so I'm gonna actually go up to the sink, dip in the moonlight real mood lights real quick. Intelligence going here.
How can I illuminate you? Unlike
Yeah.
how can I illuminate you?
Cool. Okay, you I don't need.
Anything else? No? How about now? How about now? How about now? Is this getting annoying yet? Will you put me out of my misery now?
Oh, you're back. Did that trampy other light switch finally kick you to the curb?
Jeez.
You bet I can. I bet that's more than that other tramp can do, huh?
Good grief.
You've been seeing the other light switch, haven't you? Am I not enough for you anymore?
Oh my gosh.
You-
Okay, +2 to intelligence. Tempted Muggy, but you keep giving me stuff. Alright, I'll talk to... Alright. Let's take 1 Mentas. That should last me long enough to get through this. I'm gonna hop over to O real quick. You.
Ah, predictable. The lobotomite specimen returns. Its purpose? Repetition. Chances of success? High.
Yeah.
What? What? Did I shoot myself with a brainial beam or something? That's brilliant. I mean, I would have come to the same conclusion.
Yeah, right.
Eventually. Oh, who am I deceiving? I never would have figured that out. I can't figure anything out. I'm useless.
You're not entirely useless.
We're smart. Smarter than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah, right.
I was smart enough to talk to you, give you a chance, and now look what happened. I like your solution. With that kind of slash in the middle, I can set myself apart. If I wanted to. And make a zero in all the think tank. They won't be able to escape it. That diagonal slash right down the middle. Thanks.
Waiting on it.
Talking to you, it really helped unclog some frustration. Talking. What a primitive form of thought kicking. You know, hearing my name said like that, it really de-reses my screens.
Oh, brother.
As for discoveries, well, of course. Look at this. Just, built it. Amazing, isn't it? It's a discovery. Kilomiles beyond your understanding that... You know what? I'm not even gonna pretend. I broke one of the monitors, and those innards start falling out everywhere. If you could just hold on to that for me until, well, forever, that would be welcome. Until...
Alright, so let's hop over to Boros real quick. That was a... And now for your cocky ass.
The lobotomite returns! What insidious plan can it have brewing in its horrid mind?
Clearly,
What
you know
commie anti-American propaganda will it spew? What? Why, yes, it is. I used to leave it outside his doghouse, chock full of chems. Before the cybernetic modifications, of course. And no matter how chemmed the food, he would always eat it, and his tail would wag, even while you know, I'm having the most perplexing feeling squiggling through my biogel. I can't quite pin it down. Why, yes, Gabe. No matter how awful my day had been, he was always waiting there. How odd. My gel is decoagulating. And when I would talk to him about Betsy, and how Marcus would beat on me and call me Smarty's sissy pants, he'd just sit there, head on my knee, and... If you don't mind, I'll take that bowl. Just need to remove it. Put it away, somewhere out of radar range. For some reason, its similarity to the crater shape of Big Mountain is starting to fill up all available cognitive spaces. That, combined with my own overwhelming feeling of having done something terrible, the two were hitting me with unexpected force.
Good.
As odd as it is, I believe that is the conclusion. And I wonder why it didn't hit me before, until I saw that memory in your hands. This sensation is unpleasant. I don't care for it. I don't care for this place either. And I feel as if we've forgotten something. Still, it is no matter. Crush the feeling down. Crush it down. Push it into the loop. Yes. Forgotten. Almost. Yes? I do not need to remember anymore. Not today. Until next time, then. Provided they're...
Yeah. Alright, so let's see. Take a look at our quests. Oh my god. Last but not least, you're sorry ass.
I can hear your penis-tipped feet tromping around.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated. Oh, yes, the last visitor. Well, the one just before you. Had an interesting name from some language that's almost impossible to speak.
Impossible.
What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about history, but our conversation got interrupted. Twice, I believe. Once when the trains got derailed, and then a second time. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Mobius's incessant transmissions keep distracting me. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left us some knowledge he shouldn't have. I believe, maybe.
Elijah.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't make many mistakes in calculation or perception, so probability favors me.
Right. Let's see. Let's go with...
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you.
Of course.
I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Researcher of Logistical Operations and Ideology here at Big Mountain. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am first in my field, first chair, as it were, back in the days of chairs.
Oh, brother.
Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying creature you saw upon the screen, twisted by science. He was once one of us, a friend. He researched in directions contrary to the think tank. Brains, 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 always about the brains. So we exiled him. He says he left of his own volition, but that was to save him the embarrassment. Now he sends his intelligence-consuming scorpions from the Forbidden Zone to plunder the secrets of Big Mountain. He is a menace.
You're right.
I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune.
Clearly.
If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it. Logical.
Oh, brother.
It's a side effect of the cerebral scrubbing. It won't stop you from excreting, or asking questions, apparently. Have to correct that next time. Hormonal aggressive tendencies are actively suppressed, however. They are a no-no and not permitted in the think tank. The scrubbing also ensures your silence to keep Big Mountain safe. This facility is top secret, and you cannot speak of it to anyone outside of Big Mountain. Should have done it with the last batch, and the anti-aggression scrub. We had to take precautions after the last visitors. They caused a great deal of damage in a short time. Should have made sure they couldn't mention Big Mountain once they left. An oversight. Dr. 8 and Dr. O could tell you more. Dr. O more than 8. The battle against the visitors damaged 8's voice module.
Again, that was illegal.
Suffice to say, those visitors are unwelcome. They stole a great many secrets and much technology. Impertinent. He also broke one of my trains. This is the think tank. the nerve center of Big Mountain, the greatest research center known to man and to us. Here we test and test and test some more in the name of science, atomic power, nuclear power, and scientific power. Yes, because the intellectually challenged see an M and a T next to each other and take Occam's razor to it. While you are here, you will refer to this place properly, and you will do the same with the other scientists here.
Nope. I'm gonna avoid that. I've got all the tech.
That glowing red scar, that laser lobotomy canyon maze carved in the landscape as if by some child. It is Mobius's fortress.
Okay, I'll let
From that hemorrhoidal fissure, he sends his amazing robo-scorpions to terrify and irritate us. He always tended to the dramatic.
Compared to you guys, he's pretty tame.
Ask Boros. I believe he knows more about the fence than any brain. Except maybe Mobius. Mobius was involved in their construction, if I recall. But he's such a hack, he probably was reading off Boros' notes and schematics.
Right.
Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the auto-dock runs on remote. But we programmed it, or Mobius did. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. I mean, we predicted we'd have a breakthrough eventually, but Dala knows more. She supervised your spine peel and the heart circumcision, then dumped them both into the tanks in the sink above. Quite sanitary. Sure took her time. She always takes longer than projected with lobotomite surgeries. Not sure why.
I can tell you.
Yes, in all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly. That it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. I don't know why, but it may be something involving the surgery code. Actually, I don't know. All I know is it misplaced itself, or it floated off. They get into robots sometimes and go on a tear. Yes, always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The auto-dock is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps.
Grand.
Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well. It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab. Mobius's legacy code was in the old auto-dock. Yes, it fried itself after your procedure, so he couldn't tell for sure. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the breakthrough occurred. Even if we installed another chip, the information is lost.
Might be able to ask them.
Why does he seek our destruction? Why did he build robot scorpions with intelligence training stingers? It is because he hasn't cleaned his biogel in a long time. Clearly he's got some sort of psychological corrosion. He's mad.
Y'all ain't?
Dr. O is certain of his findings, and no one else in the think tank is willing to test the results. Loss of brainial power. Terrifying. O has said on many occasions his inability to comprehend Mobius's robo-schematics is because of repeated robo-scorpion stings. Yes, a most good buy.
So, with that said, I'm gonna level up. Science, speech, 90. How about barter? Why not? Alright, with that said, I will see you guys in the next episode. Unoraptormon signing out. Ciao!